In medicine, you hear it from all sides, right? On one hand, you've got people saying modern practice totally ignores the whole person. On the other, you have folks arguing that relying on personal stories is just misleading, maybe even dangerous. So what really is the difference between evidence-based medicine and these more narrative, holistic approaches? And maybe more importantly, why should you even care?
It really boils down to this fundamental question. When it comes to your health, what should be the ultimate authority? The cold, hard data from studies on thousands of people, or your own unique personal story?
To really get a handle on this tension, we have to realize that every single medical decision comes from somewhere. It all kicks off with one of two very different, very big questions.
And wow, these are two totally different starting points. On one side, you have evidence-based medicine. It's asking a question about the big picture, about populations. What does the best data show, looking at tons of people? It's searching for a broad, reliable pattern. But then, on the other side, you've got narrative care. It asks a deeply personal question. What is this one person going through right now, and what story helps make sense of their unique situation?
Now, both of those questions sound completely reasonable, don't they? Of course they do. But here's the thing. They lead to very different ideas about what we can call truth in medicine. And that difference has massive consequences. All right, so let's dig into that first approach. Let's build the case for evidence and really understand what this whole evidence-based medicine thing is all about.
First off, EBM isn't some robot doctor just following a manual. Not at all. At its very core, it's a system designed to protect us from ourselves. It's built to reduce our natural biases, to stop us from seeing patterns in what's just random chance, and to keep us from fooling ourselves, which is surprisingly easy to do.
And here's how it works. Think of it like a pyramid of trust. At the very bottom, you've got things like case reports, which are basically a doctor's story about one patient and their own experience. Super valuable for getting ideas, but also really open to bias. As you climb up, you get to observational studies, then controlled cohort studies. Each step is more rigorous. Near the top, you've got the famous randomized controlled trials, or RCTs. That's the gold standard for figuring out if a treatment actually caused an outcome. And then, at the very peak of the mountain, you have meta-analyses. These combine the results of many high-quality trials to get the strongest, most reliable answer possible. Every step up that pyramid is a better filter for getting to the truth.
This quote just nails it. EBM operates on one simple, humble assumption. Humans can be wrong. Even brilliant doctors, even well-informed patients. Our intuition can get thrown off by a powerful story or a recent success. So EBM is designed to be the set of guardrails that keeps our thinking on the road, heading toward what's actually verifiably true.
Okay, but that's only one side of the coin. Now, let's flip it over and explore the really compelling case for stories in holistic care.
These approaches start from a completely different launchpad. They're all about the things that giant spreadsheets of data can sometimes steamroll right over. The patient's personal story, their actual lived experience, the emotional weight of being sick, and their whole social and spiritual world. And this part is key. They celebrate that everyone is different, instead of just focusing on the average person.
And you know what? They make a powerful and totally valid point. A relentless focus on just the numbers and averages can feel incredibly dehumanizing. I mean, let's be honest, illness is always personal. Nobody ever feels like a statistic.
So this brings us right to the heart of the conflict. It's this fundamental clash between two very different goals, trying to establish what is objectively true versus trying to understand what is subjectively meaningful.
So EBM is all about replicability. Its big question is, hey, if we take this one patient and their incredible story out of the picture, does our conclusion still hold up? It's searching for a truth that's bigger than any single story. But a narrative approach, it prioritizes coherence. Its main question is, does this explanation feel true and make sense for this specific person right here and right now?
And I have to stress, this is not just some dusty abstract debate for a classroom. This difference, what you're willing to accept as proof, has profound, real-world consequences, especially when people's lives are on the line.
So, what's the verdict? Are these two worlds just destined to be at odds forever? Not at all. In fact, the absolute best medicine happens when you create a powerful combination of both.
And this is where we need to clear up a huge misconception. True evidence-based medicine isn't just about the data. It actually stands on three pillars, like a stool. Yes, number one is the best available evidence, but the other two are just as critical: the clinician's expertise and judgment,
and, crucially, the patient's own values and preferences. So you see, the patient's story is already built right into the model from the very beginning.
So where does all that holistic thinking fit in best? Well, it's absolutely essential. It's the engine that drives conversations about a patient's goals. It's the bedrock of making decisions together. It's vital for interpreting symptoms in the context of a person's life, and it's everything when it comes to end-of-life care. These are the things that actually determine someone's quality of life.
So here's the key takeaway, the best way to think about it. They have different job descriptions. Holistic concerns are what enrich the experience of care, making it human and personal. Evidence, on the other hand, is what constrains the claims we can make about what biologically works. They aren't in a competition, they're partners.
And this quote just sums up that partnership perfectly. Good medicine absolutely 100% listens to stories. It's empathetic, it's curious, but responsible medicine has an obligation to then take those stories and test them against the best evidence we have.
And that leaves us with one last, really important question to think about. When we go looking for medical care, are we clear on the difference between care that comforts us and care that has been proven to reliably help us? Because understanding that difference and knowing which one you need and when, well, that might just be one of the most important things in all of modern medicine.